Welcome back, horror fans. Pumpkin Claw here. In all honesty, this list was difficult. Having been born in the 1980s, the horror films of that decade sparked my interest for the genre, but the amount of exemplary films released in the 90s cemented my love into a lifelong obsession. So many I wanted to include on this list, such as Child's Play 2, Hellraiser 3, The People Under the Stairs, and Raising Cain, but there can only be 10. And contrary to their exclusion, does not mean their memorable scenes or impact they made are any less important. Here are my top 10 horror movies from the 1990s. Number 10, The Sixth Sense. Say what you will about M. Night Shyamalan, but the man can build suspense, creating a spine-chilling atmosphere that holds, then rotates the room with a reveal that can be questionable in some of his films, but The Sixth Sense will always be an uncontested work of art. Starring Bruce Willis as the infamous child psychologist and that kid from Secondhand Lines, with chilling lines memorized and repeated, many of us at the end were grateful we were unable to see dead people. Number 9, Jacob's Ladder. Tim Robbins plays a Vietnam vet returning from the war, experiencing horrific post-traumatic flashbacks with fragmented vision serving him awful nightmare scenes. The movie holds deep allegorical tones, ripe with intense character development as we watch Jacob go through hell to discover the truth about experiments performed on himself and fellow vets, while he frantically tries to unravel a horrific conspiracy. Does Jacob find the light at the end of the tunnel, or does he disappear forever in a cover-up? With an ending that will take viewers to an uncomfortable curve, this is another cult classic that, though maybe overshadowed by films with bigger budgets, without question deserves to be recognized as one of the best for its cinematic brilliance. Number 8, The Prophecy. Christopher Walken is the archangel Gabriel, removed from heaven and come to earth in order to acquire the world's most evil soul, seeking to forge a new hell and tearing heaven in two. Saturated with blood, religious texts, demons, and one of my favorite on-screen depictions of Lucifer, portrayed by Viggo Mortensen, who delivers a flawless monologue while perched on a rock like a monstrous bird. The Prophecy holds focus on detail, encouraging multiple viewings just to get each and every intricate facet, added by writer and director Gregory Wyden, who also brought us Highlander. Every time you watch it, something new can be found, and a different appreciation for the deep story the film paints on the screen. Number 7, The Blair Witch Project. Igniting the found footage subgenre, with lasting effects still being felt to this day, Blair Witch teased the ominous presence of a malevolent entity without ever exposing a final reveal, building tension with close-ups, a plot that gradually built to a climactic finale, leaving audiences stunned, frightened, and unsure of what they saw. The Blair Witch Project tapped directly into the nerve of horror, all on a shoestring budget with the basics of effects, utilizing setting and story to create its drama and deliver the frights. Number 6, Candyman. This body horror, produced by the master of body horror, Clive Barker, is loosely based on one of his short stories from the Books of Blood collection, bringing to life the embodiment of urban legends, giving it a hook and torso full of bees. Removing the formulaic backdrop of a monster in secluded suburbs, Candyman delivers evil right into the heart of Metropolis, creating a fresh take on the concept of Bloody Mary folklore and others like it. Not favored among critics when first released, Candyman is now a cult classic with a legacy, holding accolades such as inclusions on the Bravo Top 100 Horror Movies list and nominated for American Film Institute's 100 Years 100 Thrillers list. Number 5, Cape Fear. Robert De Niro proves that he is a true chameleon of the film world, playing the vicious sociopath Max Cady. This 1991 remake of the 1962 film starring Gregory Peck features the who's who of Hollywood. Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange, and Juliette Lewis are the picture-perfect American family, preyed upon by a newly released convict looking to inflict horror and malice against them for sins committed. Directed by Martin Scorsese, this horror staple was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Cape Fear is recognized not only for its significance and impact on culture, but the strength of directing combined with genius acting added to the backdrop of its dark ambiance makes it a truly scary treat. Number 4, Seven. Starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, Seven follows 2 detectives hunting down a brilliant serial killer, looking to prove that the 7 deadly sins are not to be trifled with. A controversial ending that will forever be remembered in film lore and enticed the concept of a bloody head in a cardboard box without an actual reveal, demonstrating that anticipation and imagination can be just as effective as special effects, that less can be more. This David Fincher tour de force has concepts and story never seen before, with a killer that doesn't even appear until the final moments, revealing at the end that the mouse was hunting the cats the whole time. Fun fact, Kevin Spacey requested his name not be revealed in the opening credits or promotional material to keep the identity of the killer hidden. Number 3. Misery. Another amazing horror film with a wide impact on popular culture. Adapted from the King of Horrors novel of the same name, Kathy Bates plays the obsessive psychopathic ex-nurse Annie Wilkes, who holds her favorite author played by James Caan captive. Under physical as well as mental torture, demands he rewrite the ending of her favorite book series. Directed by Rob Reiner, this film brings an air of claustrophobia and helplessness with a performance by Kathy Bates that garnered her an Oscar for Best Actress. Number 2. Scream. Scream was the late Wes Craven's love letter to the genre of horror. Starting off with an infamous phone call tempting audiences throughout to guess the killer's identity, at the same time stacking the unspoken rules of horror, simultaneously knocking them down. Drew Barrymore at the time was the biggest star in the film, and it was a serious shock to audiences as we witnessed her gutted and hung in the first 5 minutes, telling horror fans to throw their formulaic expectations out the window. Scream is a true classic, and in my opinion, one of the most important horror films from the 1990s, resurrecting the gradually diminishing slasher genre and reminding us that Wes Craven is godfather of horror. And number 1, The Silence of the Lambs. How could it not be? Hannibal Lecter is evil incarnate. Anthony Hopkins playing everyone's favorite cannibalistic psychiatrist, playing mind games and forcing a young Clarice into mental world of monsters. It is not only one of the best horror movies from the 1990s, but one of the best horror movies, period. And even though some out there do not even consider it a true horror, just remember the scene in the ambulance when Lecter removes the skin mask off to make his grand escape, then proceeds to bite the face of the EMT. How is that not horror? Of course I missed some that deserve to be on this list, but tell me what some of your favorites from the 1990s are. Comment in the section below, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay scared.